What's up, Metal Summoners? We are always super stoked to be rocking out with you guys. Welcome back to your Island of Misfit Toys, and thank you always so much for supporting the artist, supporting the show, and always down to have a drink and a relaxation and a great conversation evening with us. As always, we've got Angel Alamo, and we've got ourselves and myself. But hey, man, that's all you get as far as an introduction from us. It's all about the introduction of this guy. Fresh off the M3 festival, we can't appreciate him enough for not only the great, awesome kicking it backstage that we had with him, but his wanting to be involved in our show to talk about all the great things that he's involved with, of which there is quite a lot to talk about. Michael T. Ross, brother,
what's up,
thank
man?
you so much for taking some time, man. Welcome to the Metal Summit.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to be on, and it was great hanging out with you. What was that, a week? No, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. What a blast that was.
Yeah, man, that was super duper awesome. And so for the fans that either weren't there or just weren't familiar, you were playing with Aldo Nova that weekend.
Yay. Yeah, that was fun.
Absolutely, man, for sure. So how did you get involved with how did you get into contact or involvement with Aldo for that show?
A couple years back, Timothy Gaines reached out to me through my friend Joey Tafoya, and it didn't really hook up at that time. And then we went into lockdown, and then when we got out, Jack Frost called me because he was on guitar out of New Jersey, and I just knew it was the right time. You know, I don't join that many bands. You know, I've been with a handful of the same bands for many years, and but when I heard that Aldo's coming out after 30 plus years from live music, I had to jump on it because I just was a fan. And he's a keyboardist too. You know, he's a utility guy, composer and guitar and vocals, but I'm telling you, the keyboards are just killer. And I've always appreciated his keyboard playing, and here I was, him showing me how to play it, and all the parts. So it was just so much fun, and it was just special to me to be able to play with an artist like Aldo, today. And I couldn't pass it up. So yeah, and we've been going for about, I don't know, 2 years. I think I joined 2 years ago, and our first show was in Cancun, and we've been rocking ever since. We've been all through Canada. I was just a couple days ago in Alberta, Edmonton. We did a cool show with Helix. They're a cool band. Helix. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I like, being in Aldo because it is special because people haven't seen him, since the 80s, and a lot of people haven't, and even a band like Helix, it's kind of rare to see. It's cool to see these guys out there today doing it, and
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
No disrespect to the other bands. It's just that we get to see they're all active, so obviously we get to see them all the time, But to be able to see an artist that you loved back in high school, and be able to see them today is great. But let alone play with them, So
Right.
so it's just special to me. Yeah.
Absolutely, Michael. Is there like playing in a band like Aldo Nova with Aldo and being that he's a keyboard guy too? Does it hit a little bit differently playing with like a musical peer, like an instrumental peer, as opposed to another band where you're the keyboardist, like pretty, as the main keyboardist for that? Does it hit a little differently knowing that the band and the guy you're playing with is your type of instrumentalist?
Yeah, that's my wheelhouse. It's like the bands that I've played with, the all the keyboards have been so intricate, you know, and you can't just do your own thing or top sheet it or. And I did come across a little bit of that with Aldo. I was just kind of just I added my own thing in there in a certain, like a verse or something, and he's like, "Oh, hold on a second, that's not on the record. You're not here to piss all over my music, and interpret it your way. You got to do it the right way, the record, and or any live version that he creates or the artist creates for us. So I've been used to it. Joining Angel, all those Greg Jafria keyboard parts were just so specifically written, so you have to and be accustomed to be very intricate with it all and play true to it. Um, there are some songs with even in those bands where there's, let's say there's no keyboards in the song. Instead of stepping off stage, I get approval, but maybe I'll add like an organ to it or something,
For sure.
and I get to add my own thing that way once in a while. But yeah, there's not much of imagination there. It's pretty much straight up work. I try to pull the sheet music, and we have those programs where you can slow it down. We can change the key on the app. Um, so we try different things. Sometimes I jump on a guitar and try to figure out the song there, and then I transpose it back to the keyboard. But if as an artist like me jumping in with Aldo, if I come up with something really really cool, yeah, I'll pitch it to him, but a guy like him, I always get shot down, because he's just an amazing keyboardist himself, and he has everything written. There's a push and a pull on every note. There's a reason and a rhyme and reason for everything on there, and I don't want to mess with history or ever upset my boss, but
Sure.
yeah, once in a while it can happen. It But yeah, I just all the missing persons, all that stuff that Terry Bozzio wrote, and those guys, Warren Cucurula, all those keyboards and all that, that was so specifically written. You can't be a keyboardist and just come along and just play what you want, on top of it all. It won't work. The music and the sounds, it's in the percussion of the keyboards. It has to be right. It has to be like we've been listening to it for 30 years that way. And so when I get hired on, I stay definitely true to that. I just got to do my homework, and match it up. I remember when Dale Bozzio hired me, first thing was, hey, learn Session M. See you in 2 weeks. And it's like, oh, fuck, you know? And how about when Johnny Joeli called me and said, hey, learn the whole Double Eclipse album. We're going to go play it in England for our first show. It's like, fuck, Double Eclipse? Are you kidding me? These are like such pinnacle albums, that's trademarked for that genre, music. And so I, I took on that challenge. So Aldo accepted me, and yeah, here I am on my second year rocking with him. And we're playing this weekend in a couple of days. And anyways, yeah, we got a lot of shows. But yeah, that's that.
No, that's awesome, brother. That's so cool, brother. Super duper stoked. And such a great story. And before I kick it over to Angel, you and I were talking about this when we were having a conversation backstage. So I gotta ask you again about this just on our show for the fans. But the band Lizzie Borden is so near and dear to me, and I love that band and care about that band so much. So I got to ask you again to talk about, being on the Appointment by Death album and doing the keyboard work with Lizzie Borden.
Yeah, Appointment with Death. Yeah, I love that album, and I'm so happy to have played on it. I played on the entire album, and I contributed a Wurlitzer electric piano keyboard intro. That's the darker side, track 10. But yeah, my good friend Martin Anderson. I'm playing him with Lita on June 22nd
Nice.
here in Vegas. So because everyone knows he's with Lita a few
Right.
years now, and he brought me on to Lizzie. I've known Lizzie for a long time, but he really facilitated that and believed in me and brought us together, and yeah, so I got to play on that album. I actually ran into Joey Scott. We talk once in a blue moon, but he's here in Vegas too, and we spoke a few months ago about me playing keys for something new album or whatever. But yeah, I want to record again because that was a while
Nice.
back
Yeah,
now.
that'd be awesome.
What year was that?
I believe that was like 2008.
Yeah, 2008. Yeah, so they're here in the brothers are here in Vegas. So am I. Yeah, I want to jump on a new record. Might happen. Yeah, I love that record.
Yeah, man.
Those
That's
guys.
awesome. No, hell, it's so awesome. That album's so good. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Angel. Let me go ahead and kick it over to you, my friend.
Hey man, long time. Man,
Good seeing you again, brother. I just saw
Same
you.
here. What a blast we had at M3 backstage.
That was
a
fun.
lot of fun.
Yeah, we threw a party in the hallway.
Yes, we did. And security just let us do it.
Yep, hallway party.
But we kind of knew not to get kicked out.
No, we were well behaved. Yeah. Everything good?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember being well behaved.
I was stretching that one.
Yeah. I don't think we were well behaved.
Yeah.
Oh.
No food fights.
Nah, no food fights. No drinks thrown.
What do you mean no drinks? The espresso machine was broke half the time. That sucked.
Nobody got arrested for throwing anything. Oh man, what gear do you use to play keyboard, and what gear works for you?
I'm a Korg guy. I have been for a long time. I don't really dabble into really anything else other than Yamaha pianos. But interesting enough, being a keyboardist and a synthesist, you would think I'd be a gear junkie, but I grew up on piano and I've been playing piano my whole life, so I have an upright Steinway here, and I'd rather sit on that thing all day actually. But I do like building sounds. It's cool being a keyboardist because we're kind of like we're like soundscapers, and so of course you need some good gear to build those sounds. What you visualize. I sit here in the backyard, beautiful backyard, and and then I visualize in my head a certain sound, and then I go in my room with headphones and I build it, and Korg is always delivered for me, and I know there's a lot of other great. Yeah, I love my relationship with Korg. You know, I've been with them over 15 years, and they've been good to me, so I've just stuck with them.
So what turned you to playing piano?
Uh, on my eighth, when I was 8 years old, on my birthday, my mom bought my brother and I a piano, and I just never left it. Been sitting on that piano bench since.
Besides the piano, have you ever tried any other instruments?
No, I don't even know how to swim. I've lived it here I'm at Helios Ranch, and we had the Rock Fantasy Camp here. We had Scorpions here, Rudolph Schenker. We've had a lot of great players here. There's a big showroom in the back. But there's a beautiful pool here. And in 3 years, you guys are gonna kill me. In 3 years, I haven't touched this fucking thing. I don't know. I think I drowned in my last lifetime. I'm not a water guy. I'm playing the Monsters of Rock cruise with Aldo. I'm gonna have to take a lot of pills. But yeah, that's why I'm a desert. I'm a desert monkey. I've been living out in the desert my whole life, from Palm Springs all the way out to Vegas. I was born in Mississippi, but I grew up out here. And yeah, we got a beautiful pool. No, my life is pretty streamlined. Keyboards and cats. I don't know. If you're not into, I like talking about other stuff. I'm not into sports. I don't know anything about the rules even. But um, yeah, there's just so much in music that brings me love and light, and I get to travel and have espressos and bagels all over. And that's funny for me. I like languages. I like
Nice.
different languages, so but yeah, no, I'm a musician's musician. It's my life. It's my all day, every day. Runs through my blood since day one. Um, yeah, no, really. What are my other? I can play chess. I'm half Russian. I can play chess. Um, but I don't know. Keyboards, cats, chess. I love nutrition. I'm a diabetic, so I love going to the farmers markets and eating good and eating well and all that. But yeah.
Susan wants to know, how is Bella doing?
Um, well, we have a new doggy in the house. We got a little Shih Tzu, and so she's been hiding in the room for a couple days. She doesn't know who's out there. Um, but when she sees the size of the doggy, she'll be like, "Ah, I can."
He's got a pool at his house and he likes cats.
Yeah, she's like, I've had her for 9 years. She's she's my everything. You know, as we get older, we don't have much family anymore, and I'm not married or kids, so yeah, my cat means a lot to me. And yeah, she's doing the usual, doing nothing, sleeping.
He's outside.
Yeah.
The cats are probably inside.
So
Yeah.
you're on the road. Who takes care of Bella when you're on the road?
I have my landlord here who owns Helios Ranch, Michael St. John. He's a cool dude. He's been good to me, and he watches her for me. Yep. Oh, and I have 2 goldfish. You know, when you travel or, wanting to jump out on the road at any given time, I don't see it's be hard to have a dog, you know. So I'm a cat guy. It worked out that way.
So was Jay. Jay's also a cat guy and a vampire as well.
And a vampire. I'm a vampire because I don't go to bed till the sun comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, really, that's my alarm.
That's your
For
alarm?
bed.
Nice.
It is, yeah. So I have opposite schedule as everybody in the house. It's kind of cool. They can have it during the day. I'm just getting up right now. I'm just really getting myself rocking for you guys. I got my coffee, my Lavazza.
Nice.
It's got to be Italian French press, right?
Yeah, man.
No Folgers. You guys don't drink Folgers, do you? No.
No. I'm a coffee guy, and I like good coffee.
Yeah, I'm such an addict with that stuff. Coffee is just like, it's just like water. I got to espresso that shit up all day, man.
Well,
Yeah.
if we ever come down to Vegas, I was just telling Megan, you know who you met when we were talking at M3. She's into pools and she's into cats. So even if you're not a pools guy, your pool would get use if we came to visit you. He says thumbs up.
We gotta go to
Deal.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Nice. But Michael, talk. You had mentioned them earlier. Talk a little bit about Angel and playing with that band.
Well, I mean, that was when I first was starting my career in 2003 because I was just started in Hardline the year before, and we did the Hardline record, Hardline 2, for Serafino and Frontiers, and so Angel came right after that. So things went pretty fast for me there, but yeah, it was a challenge. It wasn't fun. uh, in the beginning, there's just a lot of parts, a lot of material, a lot of history of that band. Like, even though they had I don't even know, 4 albums or something, it's just a lot of material. And so I was learning at that time really how to put it together. And it not until 2005, 2006, where I was starting to finally have my fun. We played Hard Rock cafes across the states, and oh yeah, we played Bang Your Head Festival, Germany. That was awesome. I got my German shirt on.
Nice.
I'm going to Hamburg, so whenever I get ready to. Well, not this weekend. I'm going to Connecticut, but next month I'm going to Hamburg and to hang out with my with Hardline guitarist former Josh Ramos. Josh and I were both in Hardline together. So he's going to be out there, and I'm going to meet him out there for a cup of for a schnitzel and an espresso. And So I'm getting pumped up for Germany right now, and so I put on my shirt, for that. Are you guys any Germans in the house?
Megan's got some semi-German in her.
Nice.
There's a little bit of me, but my dad's like fully Irish, so the majority of me is like Irish and kind of in English with like a touch of German.
Irish English.
Yeah.
Well, I am stopping by Manchester before for some Indian food and a business dinner. Yeah, I love the UK too. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are going to Sweden July 7th.
Sweden, we're opening up for well, there's a lot of us on the bill, but Uriah Heep. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Mm-hmm. And normally, like you look, you fly out halfway around the world and you play for 45 minutes or an hour, and then you fly got to fly all the way back. It's like you're like 30, 40 hours in the air for 30 or 40 minutes, and it's pretty brutal. You leave on a Thursday, you come back Sunday morning or Sunday night, and everyone around you doesn't even think you left. They're like, hey, I thought you were leaving. And but so a lot of us, like Aldo's so cool. He's like, yeah, do something else if you want. Like, right on. So I'm going to Hamburg. I'm going to Manchester, Hamburg, Copenhagen, then doing that show. And then I'm going to Belgrade, Serbia. I'm going to play a show there. I have a band there. And then I'm just trying to close it tonight. If I'm going to Venice, because the show I have there is called the Dragonfly, and to my Italian friends, if there's any of them ever get to listen to this, like, what happened to that club? They just closed this thing down. So I don't have a show now there. I need a club. If anyone knows, middle of July, I need a Venice gig. But I might just say, screw that, and I'm going to fly over to Rome and spend a couple days there and then go home. And that's the beginning of July. But it's all based around, the Aldo show at the Time to Rock Festival. Yeah.
Yep, that's going to be July 7th in Sweden.
Yeah,
August
you're right.
2nd, the Arcada Theater, August 2nd.
Oh, yeah, Arcada Theater. Yeah.
And then the next day, the Stadium Rock 80s Music Festival at Lynn Family Stadium.
Yeah, is that the one? Isn't Great White on that?
Yep, Great White, Slaughter, Vixen, and many more.
I'm excited because one of my best friends, 25 plus years, Scott Snyder, bass player, Great White. We started together out in Orange County, California, and I'm so proud of him. He's been in that band forever now. But yeah, that's what's fun about these festivals. You get to jam with your buds, your friends. We're all taking turns jamming up there. It's so cool. Like at the M3 festival that I just saw you guys at. Because on that first day there was because I have a show called Raiding the Rock Vault here in Vegas, and we rotate players in and out at times. And so we have Jizzy Pearl, and so him and I play our show here in Vegas, and then we fly out. And Blas for Stephen Piercy, and then it's just cool, like, to be able to. We all just take off and go play in other bands, but we happen to be on the same bill, which was rare. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, the M3, I had a bunch of Vegas bros, Andy Freeman and Phil Soussan, Gabriel, the singer for Lynch Mob, right? He sang in Rock Vault as well. I think, is that all? There was Blas, Jizzy, me, Andrew, Phil, Gabriel. We had six players on that same day that most all of them live here in Vegas. So I don't know, it was just kind of cool going out there and doing that, and just being able to hang out with all your buds, and you're working, and it's fun. Yeah.
As a musician, how how does the jet lag plays into your mind when you're traveling across? How does that affect you? How does that work?
Well, I'll give an example. Like a couple months ago, I was in Calgary, Canada, with Aldo, and then I flew back to Vegas, played Rock Vault, and then flew to Jamaica, and then flew back to Vegas, and then fly back east again to Aldo. It's like you don't know your luggage. You got to break it up. You got to bring shorts and flip flops, and then bring a big jacket and a heater. Heating jacket, heating socks. You got to just be, as long as your luggage is ready for all seasons. You know, um, I could sleep anywhere. I'll sleep at my gate. I'll sleep at your gate. It's you're so tired and your time zone's so jacked up. There is no jet lag.
Yeah.
It's one. My life is one. It's all one big jet lag. You just constantly. I'm exhausted right now. So we just never get sleep. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me.
I mean, considering we're both vampires, Michael, do you find that the average venue is accommodating of your coffin?
Well, spending half my life in Hollywood, I was always frustrated that it closed so early. Can't
Right.
even get an espresso after midnight. And then I went, and then hung out in Long Island, hung out in Jersey, and I got a little bit later night there. And but Vegas is the place for that, to accommodate us vampires.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, we're up at 5 in the morning working. We're not. I don't have to feel like I'm some crack addict hanging out all night working on my car. You know, we're all professional entertainers here, and we run through the night here. So yeah, that's why I'm here in a big way.
Oh,
It's
for sure.
accommodated my lifestyle.
For anybody, hey Michael, for anybody who's not familiar with what you do with Rating the Rock Vault, can you tell the fans a little bit about what they would see at a Rating the Rock Vault show?
It runs through the different genres of 60s, 70s, and 80s, and we recently got our 10 years of Best of Las Vegas here. We're the only act that has done that consecutively. We've been going for 11 years. I have my 1,700 show this month.
Wow.
And we've had, a lot of great players that have came through and who have been in the band for many, many years. Bon Jovi's bass player, Hart, everybody, Howard Leese, Hugh McDonald, and Jay Shellen on drums for in the beginning, and he was a big part of the show. And he's in Yes today, and he's just finished up his Europe tour. And yeah, he's getting ready to start the UK tour like tomorrow or something. And Andrew Freeman has been in the show a long time, big part of it from the beginning. And just so many great players in and out. Robin McCauley, Paul Shortino. But look, we went into lockdown. Times changed. We came back out. We trimmed down. It's a great show. And we were at the Rio for a while. Now we're at the Hard Rock Cafe for a year plus. We just signed another year with them. And then in hopes that we're going to go to the Hard Rock Hotel, the new one with the guitar being built
Yeah.
next year. Fingers crossed that should happen. And you can bring your kids, you can bring your wife, you can bring your grandma. It's just one of those shows. We play Hotel California. We go through all of it. Jimi Hendrix. It's very, I'm not saying it's very typical stuff, but it's the best
Yeah.
music in rock and roll. And
Absolutely.
we have Todd Kearns, and he just got off the road with Slash, and so
Yeah.
he's back on with us. And we have Keith St. John, who's a permanent member, and he rocks that every night. We have Z Maddox. We have Dan Grenis on bass. He's awesome. Blas Elias on drums, as I said earlier, and Mitch Perry. He's been killing it for the last couple months. He's covering for Rowan Robertson, who's coming back from his European tour soon. And Mitch and I go back. We were in Lita Ford together
Yeah.
uh, in the late 2000s, and it's a cool show, and it's a great family. It's we had Sean Coey from Starship. She sang last night.
Oh, nice.
Um, Uh-huh. We have Georgia and from TSO and Blas, those two step out to do that. And we had Joel Hoekstra in a little over a year ago for a little while, so we spice it up and bring some cool players in, additional players in, special guests a bit. But we used to really do the special guests. We had Lou Graham, we had John Anderson in the show, we had Mickey Thomas and Bobby Kimball. It went on and on. And but yeah, today it's a tight band. I like our band. We packed the house last night. Our meet and greet was full. It was cool. It's a great show. I get best of both the worlds. I get to be in this great family raiding the Rock Vault. Sir Harry Cow, he's awesome. Been here with him 11 years. He's taking good care of me, and he lets me, I sub out to some other good local players, and I get to go do Aldo, and or like Lita or something if I want to take a day off and go do something, But 99% of the time, I've always been at Rock Vault. I love that show so much, and I care about it, yeah, I want you all to come out and to Vegas and come see it, please.
Absolutely. We would
Hell
love to do
yeah.
that for sure. I mean, Angel, dude, 1,700 shows of Rock Vault. We've got our work cut out for us for TMS to get caught up to Michael's high standards there, man. We got a lot of episodes of the Metal Summit to go.
I'm representing us keyboardists that are out there in the world. It's not about
Oh,
me. It's
absolutely.
about I've been raised. I've been smothered by you, freaking guitar players and drummers and everybody. I got to keep the torch going for us keyboardists.
No, for sure. I mean, you're our second main keyboardist that Angel and I have had on the show. The only other main keyboardist that we've had was Eric Levy from Night Ranger.
Oh, he's great. Sure.
So that's really cool. I mean, you mentioned Rowan Robertson, Michael, and I think that's super cool because obviously a lot of people are going to recognize Rowan's name from Lock Up the Wolves when he got started with Dio. But I'm also a really big Bang Tango fan, and he spent a few years with Bang Tango. So I love the fact that you've got Rowan as part of your alumni.
Oh yeah, he's been in the show a long time. He's an OG, and I love Mitch. We love all of our other players, but he's, Mitch is actually going to stay on Rock Vault a bit because he's going to sub for me on keyboards.
Oh yeah,
yeah. When Rowan comes back, and normally Mitch would be off at that moment because we have Zoran Maddox and we have Rowan. We have our band members, two guitars. But yeah, when Rowan's coming back, I'm going to put Mitch up on keys.
Nice. That's awesome.
He's a great keyboardist. He is. He's got credits. He's got bigger credits than me. He's got Aerosmith, something, right? Or MSG. He played keyboards and wrote songs, and yeah, he's awesome.
You mentioned Bon Jovi. That's right up Angel's alley. He's a Bon Jovi guy.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. For sure. And and also there's nostalgia with John Bon Jovi and Aldo Nova's career together. They wrote, they did great stuff, right? And Aldo it blazed the glory, and I love John Bon Jovi. So I've done many years. Hugh McDonald was in the show in Raiding the Rock Vault. Yeah, and that was just a blessing. But we did do a corporate show a few years back, and it was in Canada, in Kitchener, and we had Richie Sambora on guitar and Hugh McDonald on bass on the same time.
Wow.
And he came to Vegas and played with us on stage, like special guest on a song, one of his songs. But he actually was in our show, and it was cool. Yeah, it's got a good core of Bon Jovi right there,
Was this Toronto by any chance?
Ontario? Yeah, is that the same thing?
Toronto. No, because we have Susan. She has seen the show 4 times. And
Wow.
She's from Canada, so.
Really?
Right. She definitely loves to meet and greet. She most recently saw you last October.
At the K Days? The K Days Festival? In Edmonton or what? No.
She's from Toronto.
Oh, from Toronto. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Well, you guys. Yeah. It'd be nice for all of you to come out to Vegas.
Yes.
Come rock with us. Come see the show. I'll put you all up in the front row and rock with us.
Yes. Jay, we're going. You
Done.
got no choice. No choice.
I should add-
We're going.
I was just joking because we don't change it. We don't add stuff. We're a set show. We got the screens and all that good stuff. But
gonna
I was
pack
like,
Jay-
oh, we'll play a Lizzie Borden tune for you guys. I was
Yes!
joking, but-
Well, Jay's definitely
Megan's
gonna go.
never been to Vegas, so she'd be excited.
Oh,
for it.
really?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Jay.
We
how
got
do
to
you
make
get your
this
casket?
happen.
Say
gotta
that
make this-
again. Say that
yeah.
again, Angel.
We got to make this happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was asking
This
Jay,
year.
how do you get your casket through TSA?
Oh, nice.
Have you ever been to Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum?
I have many times. I used to live down the street and would walk there. I love that place. I've been 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
There you go.
He's been
Yeah,
there?
you got to go.
That's awesome. We def-
Mhm.
I heard you got to sign a waiver though to go into the museum.
Yeah, I think it's because of the Peggy doll. Because someone had a heart attack when they were in the room.
Well, there is a lot of paranormal objects.
Yeah,
in
she
that
attacked him.
museum. Have you ever met Zach?
I met Chris Angel, but not Zach. Yeah. Oh, I love that place. It looks like the Winchester House. It's like really spooky.
Oh yeah, the Winchester House, which has doors and stairs and hallways.
I want to visit that. I was for all the time I spent in Long Island. I wish I went to the Amityville Horror House. I want to go there, and I want to see the Winchester House.
I have papers on the Amityville Horror House like this thick.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're saying there was actually another body involved. Like
No
somebody else
way.
got murdered in that house that night.
Really? Hey,
So there were 7 people all together that got killed.
this is the new roommate that I was talking about, Coco. That Bella hasn't met yet.
Oh,
Coco's
look at
like-
the puppy.
I'm
Coco's
live
like,
on the
I'm
air
so
in the interview.
Look at the little puppy.
He's metal. He likes Lizzie Borden.
Yes.
Thank you.
He's like, okay, I'm done.
It's like I'm
I
out.
was like, okay. It's like, okay, no more camp.
This is Curtis. We got some cool cats living here.
Hey.
But he was playing Queensryche last week, right?
Careful with that axe, Eugene.
Were you playing Operation Mindcrime? What were you playing?
Yeah, I was.
What was it? You got to play some
Queensryche.
Queens. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to play some Lizzie Borden for these guys tonight. Crank it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You got it.
Master Disguise.
Absolutely.
So
Love that album. I love that album.
Did
Still
you
to
at
this
least get
day.
to meet Aaron from Ghost Adventures?
No. But I got to tell you, my landlord's going to kick my ass. This house, I think, I'm a believer. I'm with you. This place is haunted. I mean, look at this hallway. Can you imagine being here? Can you see? Well, I don't know what you see, but
Oh yeah.
watch. I'm
Oh,
gonna run.
yeah.
I'm gonna run through my hallway. I mean,
Yeah.
at 2 a.m, put on some incense, take a hit of weed, and tell me if you're not gonna be scared. I mean, look at the door. It's like, whoa.
Old style door.
Yeah. There's your pool, Megan.
Oh.
I'm out in the wild west. There was like Spanish trails, and we find like in the fields out here and stuff. Are we on? Are we still on? You're not cutting me off? And
Oh
No,
no, yo,
no,
you're
no,
good.
you're
No,
good.
you're good. Yeah,
Okay.
we're totally still live.
hang with me for a quick second. I hope I'm not detouring here in the wrong way.
Oh no, man, this is the Michael T. Ross show. You're good,
Yeah,
brother.
man, you're hanging out with me today in Vegas.
Just saying, as you run through the hallway, something.
So I gotta watch the snakes and scorpions.
It's
I
not.
hope the band.
Yeah, I see.
Nice.
It was off near the window, and then it was.
Pretty cool, huh?
By the wall.
Wow.
I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I work on the strip, but within 30 minutes, boom, I'm out here just chilling with the coyotes, the desert life.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
showing off. I'm showing off right now, but in 30 days from now, my flip flops are gonna melt on this concrete.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you a hot weather person, Michael? Or are
Yeah.
you more? You are.
Yeah. In Maryland, remember it rained? It was.
Yeah.
It was
Fuck, man.
fucking cold.
That fucking suck. I'm a West Coast guy. I'm like, fuck that, you know.
Yeah.
And but then I was just in Edmonton this last weekend, and it was cold up there. I'm like, I can't wait to come back home to the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, look at our doors. It's like this place, like it's freaky deaky. Anyways, I just wanted to show you the field out front, the view.
Yeah, man.
This is awesome. In the metal
It's a brand new episode of TMS Cribs with Michael T. Ross.
That is so cool.
These are all found out here.
Oh wow.
They're real?
Yeah, and there's like petrified rocks and
found outside. Oh, I love that old door. That old door is so cool.
Oh man, the pool table.
We got the game room.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
right, so I can just come in here 24/7 and fucking blast
Just-
it. Mr.
just
Prowley, Mr. Prowley at 3 a.m. I bought this table because it reminded me of a guitar pick.
Have you ever scared anybody by playing Mr. Crawley at 3 a.m.? Have you ever scared the hell out of anybody?
Yeah. Even going way out here, I still piss people off. Anyways, that's the tour there.
Shadow in the corner, right?
So what's next on the list?
Let's go the direction of missing persons. Let's talk a little missing persons and how that came about.
Talk about Syracuse.
That's so fun music to play. Chipsy Nuff got me in the band, and our first show was in San Francisco. He was on for a while, but then he left because, of course, enough's enough. He got busy, and then I stayed on for many years, and we played back east. We played up in Albany, Syracuse, all around. We played Verizon Amphitheater in Orange County, which was special because that's where my friends and I grew up. And I brought on my drummer, one of my best friends, Michael Masonette. And Verizon Amphitheater is a venue that we all grew up driving by and seeing concerts there, and we got to play there with her, and it was cool. We all had to do our homework, the music's not easy.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. We have to duplicate those analog sounds. That took a while.
Yeah.
The bass synth. So I split the board in half, and I stayed true to it and played the bass synth while I'm playing the right hand. It's because they didn't have. Look at the S Festival. They only had 2 bass synth keyboards. They didn't have a bass player. So I like to have bass synth in there. They really need 2 keyboardists, I think, but unless you want to split it. I'm ambidextrous, so I love that stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Be like that. Be like that part in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures when Beethoven's at the mall and he's playing all these keyboards surrounding him with both of his hands.
Exactly. Yeah. So missing persons. I don't know what else. Terry Bozzio wasn't in it, but we always had great drummers, including Michael Masonette. And I did that for a while, and then I did the last show was right. We did one of the last shows before lockdown. It was like February 2020 in San Diego.
His last
I was
one.
just subbing in.
Like 3 years ago.
But that was, yeah. They have Fred Benzie on keyboards. He's been in for a long time. He's a good friend, and I brought him in, and he's been in ever since. He's done a great job. Um, yeah, I still listen to the music once in a while. It's really really fun to play. Like I said before, like with the Angel and all that, the set lists of the bands that I've been in. It's just I can't help myself but on my own time to go back and keep playing it because it's just it's just that fun to play, and I can never look back and imagine that wow, that was my job, that's my work, that's my livelihood, that puts Cheerios on my table. It's fun and it's music, but it's it's my life. It's my occupation, and just thinking back, like that's what I was working on and doing and making a living and paying my bills, working on Spring Session M, like geez, just some of the best music I think, from the 80s. Yeah. Missing
Absolutely.
Persons.
I mean, especially because of things like Raiding the Rock Vault and all the various bands that you played, whether it would be tours or musicians. Just going back to Angel, just out of curiosity, have you ever met Greg Giuffria?
I have a couple times, and at the Wynn Hotel, because when I moved here to Vegas from LA 15 years ago this August, um, I went over there and I saw him because he had an office there. I don't know if he still does. It's been a while, but yeah, I introduced myself to him. He didn't really give me any love. But the second time I saw him, I think it kind of sunk into him that like, hey, this kid's playing my music.
Right.
So we chatted for a few, and I'm born in Mississippi, Biloxi, and he had had a casino there. It got destroyed in Katrina, but so we talked about Biloxi a little bit and keyboards a little bit. Yeah, he's one of my heroes, man. He was the first rock keyboardist that like he made sure that his image was there too, just like everyone else on stage. The guitar player's looking fucking great, drummers looking killer, and then you got this Poindexter keyboardist up there. It's like but playing great, but why I didn't understand through the years why keyboardists felt that fashion wasn't for them or something. I don't know, like if I'm in the market and someone's looking at me and hey, what do you do? They always, of course, they always say, "Are you guitar?" Like that. That's the first thing they want, and then I have to go through the whole list every time. Oh no, what else do you think? Oh, singer? No, okay. What? A drummer? No, okay. Bass player? No. What the fuck is left? Ukulele? Keyboards? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. We're metalheads too. Sure, we go home in our flip flops and play Yanni when no one's around, but we're metalheads. And so yeah.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, for sure. Angel, let's kick it down to you, my friend.
What's up, Angel? I just saw you. Yep.
What's the longest that you've been out on the road at one time?
Much different than ours.
It would have been with Lita because it was busy in the beginning because she was in retirement for 14 years and she made her comeback. I don't know what to use the word retirement, but she was just not in the market. But June of 2008, and then we ran for a few years there, and that we opened it for Motley Crue in Italy, in Monza, right by Milano. We did some big stuff, and it was busy times, so we were gigging all the time. Our first show out was the Rocklahoma. Then we did Rock the Bayou. We did Sweden Rock. I mean, it just was go, go, go. So it was my first tenure with Lita was my most busiest time. Mm-hmm.
When you're off the road, how often do you practice when you're off the road?
There's barely a night where I don't.
Oh, dear.
Even when I'm tired, I come home. I track. I'm a recording artist. I'm on a lot of records, and my inbox is up to here.
Damn.
So I got engineers all over waiting for my track. So I'm always coming home like a zombie and going in that room that you saw with the pool table and tracking, and it's just a 24/7 life job, It never ends. Just I play every day, literally. Unless it's a big Jewish holiday or something, I don't know. If it's Hanukkah, maybe I won't. But I'm all year. I can't help myself. When I play in Rock Vault for 90 minutes, I can't wait to get home. My fingers are just still twitching. And I'm addicted to it. I have to play a couple hours a day. I'm gonna clock in 2 to 4 hours tonight. That's for sure.
I don't think
You
you
know.
sent it to me, but he showed it to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just fucking awesome. I mean,
I don't like
I
being
said,
on. I don't like being on video. By the way, I don't do this stuff. I'm only doing it for you fuckers because I love you guys.
Well, we love you too, man, and we appreciate it, man. Definitely.
And
The way
Lizzie
we were
Borden
taking selfies.
and
Come
taking
on, Mike.
selfies. No,
The way we
that's
were
not
ta-
a problem. That's
Oh.
I can do that all night. But this video stuff. But anyways, it's special for me. It's been a while for that.
I'll find out. Yeah.
So what else is on tap for you for the rest of the year?
Lavazza
Besides-
coffee.
That's for
Make-
all of us.
Yeah, grow hair on your chest drinking this shit. Yeah. What?
No, just reading Carlos' comment. Thanks,
Yeah,
Michael.
Carlos,
Life
what's
is
up?
Very interesting.
What is it?
No, what's on tap for you for the rest of the year, as far as like recording, touring?
Well, I'm just like I had mentioned in the beginning is like, I have reason why I have my German shirt on is because I'm just excited for the beginning of July to do a 2-week run in Europe. Starting in Hamburg, Manchester to Hamburg to Copenhagen, then to the Aldo Time to Rock Festival, and then a Belgrade show with a killer band, and then and I have to close it. I have to figure out tonight if I'm going to go to Venice or go to Rome. I got to go grab a panini before I head home, and I think that's going to be pretty much the route. But yeah, I'm just excited about that. And then August is super busy with Aldo, like you were starting to mention those dates. We're back at the Arcada Theater. We were there a few months back. Love that place, and everybody does. By Chicago, yeah. And then we got that 80s rock, and then we got the Mountain in Tennessee.
Yep.
And that's a good one, great one. And then we have I don't know, guys. I don't know. We got a bunch of shows, so I'm just excited this summer. We got a lot of Aldo shows. Sullivan Big with Big Time Entertainment, just really kicking ass for us and booking away, and the fans are loving it. And we got full attendance. People who follow me on my social stuff see all the crowds, and everyone's coming out and loving Aldo. And it's just, yeah. So this year's it's a good one. Rock Vault's kicking ass. I got Lita here and there. I'm on a new record called Turkish Delight 3. It's Khalil Turk. He's the owner of Escape Music in Manchester. That's why I'm going to Manchester. I'm going to go have dinner with him and Bruce Mee from Fireworks Magazine. And we're finishing up Turkish Delight 3 right now. It's got Robin McCauley on it, Dino Jalusic. It's got Simon Phillips, all these different players, and Chuck Wright, Mitch Perry's on it, Andrew Freeman, Vinny Appice. I'm on it, and so there's a new record coming out. I was on Turkish Delight 2, and I did the track with James Labrie from Dream Theater. I was on that track, and then there was great players on that record too. A lot of the same ones too. Robin McCauley and a bunch of great cats, and so yeah. I'm excited about this release, Turkish Delight 3 coming out. The guy who did the Rush album covers, Hemispheres, and all that, he does the artwork. So he's just killer album covers, and so yeah, between Aldo and tracking records like this, things are good. Yeah, and maybe the Lizzie Borden, if anything on a new album, I want to get back with Joey and get him over here to the Helios Ranch, and maybe he'll let me write something with him or something because even though he's a drummer, he's a musician's musician. He's hands on. He gets on the keyboards. He'll put his hands on there. He'll change knobs and shit. He knows what he wants. He knows what wants to hear. So Joey's not too fun to work with, but he's just because he's so strict. But he knows what's up, and I just follow along with him and just keep up with him because he's really, really good. And again, I look at him as a keyboardist too. You know, he's a conductor, you know, and stuff. So I want to bring it on. You know, I want to take on the challenge again and bring him over here soon, and see if I can be a part of Lizzie Borden again. We just recently talked about this together, so. Yeah, that would be great. I've never played live with Lizzie, so I always thought that would be cool. You know,
Wow.
fucking keyboards live with Lizzie Borden. I would love that. Maybe one day I want that. You know, too.
Dude,
Um,
2 years ago when M3 finally put Lizzie Borden on the show, I was telling everybody, I was like, guys, you don't understand the show that you're about to get. And I still have like friends or, you know, former colleagues of the show, stuff like that, who still talk about that Lizzie Borden performance because they'd never seen what Lizzie does live. But just being a Lizzie Borden fan, Michael, I'm with you. I would love to see a keyboardist up on that stage to be able to hear
Yeah.
those parts live.
Absolutely, man. Pipe organs and those different scenes and stuff. It would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be great.
And it was funny too because they only gave Lizzie 30 minutes for that particular M3, and I'm like, man, they don't get it. Nothing against M3, it's totally cool. I understand, but I was like, man, they don't get it yet. They don't understand.
I know.
There's a reason why Lizzie doesn't call his set lists. They're called scripts because he literally
Right.
designs it as a show.
Right, totally. He needs his own show, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. This is Whitey. Oh, sorry, Whitey. My bad. Sorry, guys. I'm
That's right.
Just showing-
Camera shot.
showing 30,000 people Whitey. Anyways, yeah. I feel the same way about the live keys with Lizzie Borden.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that would be super duper sick for sure.
Mhm.
Michael, talk a little bit about your well, actually, we got a fan question that popped up from Brian. He wants to know about your gloves. He's digging your gloves.
Yeah, you know, the wear and tear, you know, pounding those fucking keys every night. You know.
Yeah, man. But so Michael, tell us a little bit about like your early influences just in music. What got you into music? Like what bands were you into? What bands were you a fan of?
You know, I have an older brother, so I got into I loved Sweet, Love Is Like Oxygen. I love 10cc. I like the mellow tunes. Like Zebra's got that one cool tune. White Lion with When Children Cry.
Yeah.
I love that. You know, I love some of those. God Bless CJ. I love some of those Firehouse ballads. I know they were simple and stuff, but you know, I'm just a fan of music myself. I didn't want to. I mean, look, my head in life was half my life was into Chopin. So I just kind of got all my rocks off there, and then the rest of my life, I just kind of just wanted to enjoy music. I love Hall & Oates. I was listening to Olivia Newton-John the other day. I've been listening to her my whole life, you know, and so, but you know, of course, Rick Wakeman and Keith Emerson. I loved his. God bless him too. You know, he was just one of a kind. And then later on, I got influenced by Derek Sherinian.
Oh,
And
nice.
and you know, Kevin Moore, you know, just prior to that, and of course, you know, because look, I'm a huge Kansas fan, and then when Dream Theater came out, they were like Kansas meets Rush, you know, and so I love that stuff. I like progressive. I like soloing. I like shredding. I like fast keyboard playing. And so I'm a big guitar fanatic. You know, Gary Moore. You know, that's probably one of my biggest influences, in Randy Rhoads, for sure. And Phil Lynott. You know, mainly Thin Lizzy is the root of it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And I've never been to Philonaut's statue, and I just keep flying over it every year. And I'm like, oh, and I'm not going this year again. I want to go to the statue so bad. I don't
Yeah.
know. Just was in Dublin or something. I've never even been to Dublin yet, so fuck. Um, anyways, but out of the shrapnel era, Joey Tafoya is always my favorite, and a good friend of mine, and actually management with me. But I love Greg Howe. I love Greg House playing and all that. But yeah, more guitar influences than keyboard influences. I've said in the past, like I'm a guitarist stuck in a keyboard body,
Right.
So like so my voicing on my keys, it's not like even though I am a piano player, I keep that at home. I go out and play rock synth keys, and so I voice it like a guitar player doing a power chord, like 1 5 octave or something. You don't
Yeah.
play thirds in rock and roll. And but a lot of keyboards never followed that role, and they want to play a bunch of Lionel Richie chords, and right in the middle of a rock tune. So my influence is actually, which was not keyboardist, actually benefited me as a keyboardist. Because why? Because like when I first joined Rock Vault, I went in the room in Burbank, and it's Joe Lynn Turner. There's this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy. But there's no keyboardist in the room. I'm not dealing with another. I have guitar players walking up to me with their fretboard backwards, looking at me, going, "Hey, can you play that?" It's like thankfully I studied guitar for 10 years. And I learned how to read the fretboard backwards, because they don't come up to your riser and come around to your shoulder and go, "Here, look, it's like this." You have to learn it back, not only learn it normal, but learn it backwards. So I just learned the guitar talk. I love modes, the Aeolian mode and all that, um, and so as a keyboardist, I'm very guitar oriented, and that's why people think I look like a guitarist. I act like one. And um, yeah.
No, that's awesome, brother. Like, yeah, you mentioned Derek Shirini, and I mean, I was a big Black Country Communion fan. I thought that band was awesome that he did with and with Glenn Hughes. I always thought that album was super cool. And personally, my favorite guitar player has always been Michelangelo Badio from Nitro, and he's currently playing with Manowar. But I'm a huge Michelangelo Badio fan.
Me too. And I've been bugging him for 30 years, telling him, "Hey, I want to play with you. I want to play with you." And there's been a moment or two, because he really did compliment the speed technique of my playing. I do have an album credit with Derek. I was a co-engineer on his Mythology album
Oh,
in
nice.
2004. Yeah, I'm on there. I got to track. I rented a room at his house, so I lived with him for years. So I just was tracking while he was out with Billy Idol on the road. I was keeping the studio moving, and I got to track a lot of great players out of there, and got good friendships out of that, including like Tony Franklin.
Nice.
He's been in Rock Vault, and we went to London together with Rock Vault. We went to Alaska together, corporate shows, and he did the residency here for a little bit. And I met him through Derek, living there, and got to track him a little bit. So yeah, I got to learn a lot off of him, big time. No better way to learn how to play rock keyboards than go live with the, go live with the guys.
Yeah, man.
It goes beyond taking lessons, once a week for a half hour and learning a riff. You're 10 years later, you're gonna finally get one song down. Just go live with them.
Yeah, seriously.
The next thing you know, you're doing dishes, going, "Yeah, what's that Aeolian mode? Where do I go from there?" But anyways, yeah.
No,
Excuse me.
hell yeah, brother. Absolutely. Angel, let's kick it back down to you. But also on that note, fans, we want to be respectful of Michael's time. We're having such an awesome time
Time is
kicking it
money.
with him, talking about everything. But make sure that you guys are pumping in any questions or comments that you want to ask the man, while we've got him on this time. So don't be shy. We love hearing from you guys. And we definitely, want Michael to hear what you guys have to say. If you've seen Raiden the Rock Vault live, or if you've seen Michael live with his various projects, let him know. Show him the love while we got him. Angel, let's kick it back down to you, my man.
When you're on the road, do you ever get to be a tourist and visit places, or do you always just show up, play, and on to the next town?
I remember this shit.
You know, it has been frustrating through the years where people say, "Oh, you don't get to see anything, do you? You're just you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out." Well, yeah, I am. We are 3:30 a.m. lobby call all the time, but we've been to these towns so many times in these same countries over and over and over again. Sure, we uh, in February I played we Aldo Nova. We played in Niagara Falls at a big casino there, and yeah, we got to spend the whole day and the whole night because you always every band, pretty much you fly in the day before. So like this weekend, I'm opening up for Ace Frehley at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut, and the show is Sunday night, and I'm flying in Saturday, like Saturday morning. So I'll be like I'll be having lunch in Connecticut. Then I get that evening, and that's the time where the band we get to bond because we don't see each other that often. We miss each other, and so we get to have a nice band dinner. Get to hang out with Aldo, get the news on what's going on in our, what's the plan, what's the plan, Sam. It's pretty productive, and then we're exhausted, and so we want to rest a little bit. Friday night, absolutely. We just been traveling and working the night before, and then and then who gets sleep in a hotel room? But you hang out for a little bit. Sometimes if you have any local friends, that's the time to ask them to come down as well, if they're local. And then the next day we finally get a little sleep, and then you wake up and then you go to sound check, and then it's chaos after that. Meet and greets, meetings, all kinds of miscellaneous shit going on, and then you play the show, and then you got an hour or two or three, and then you got to get to the airport back home. Um, but you get that first day, that first travel day coming in, usually that night is you get to go out. Um, but then look like I was explaining earlier, like flying out to Sweden for one show, because that's just what the schedule is. Us artists get to um, we get to build around those and get to see other places. We get to see more. Like, oh, you went to Sweden and back. Did you get to see Sweden at all? Did you get to spend any time there? Well, I went to yes, for a minute, but I went to Belgrade and I went to Hamburg for 2. I mean, like, we work around it, even if the schedule doesn't permit us to be a tourist. We've been doing this long enough. We can manipulate it, you know, and pay the difference on the flight and go somewhere else, So yeah, we see a lot, and um, but yeah, there's a lot of in and out. But just like lastly here is that the show a couple days ago, Edmonton, we played there a few times. We've been playing there all last summer. Even though this one I flew in and played it and flew out, I wanted, hit your show, do your job, and fucking go home. I don't need to hang around. So it's actually when you're doing it for a long time, sometimes you kind of hope that get in, hit it and get out because you got to come back and get onto your next show the next night. So you don't really want. I'm not in this to be a tourist, myself either. So sure, we want to grab a panini or a bagel and a coffee and hang out at a coffee shop, and get a feel for the town, but we don't have any desire anyways. I don't think so. Unless you know someone, that's from there, then it's fun and you do want to stay then, I think. But as we're traveling through, it's all good. One night's enough. I mean, you'll come back, if it's something that you really fall in love with, like I fell in love with Croatia. Then you'll find your way back there and you can go on your own and do it that way, and then but you at least got through the band tour, you got to see the town and know where the venue is, where the downtown is, what you have a hotel, you can go stay at that same hotel again, just come back on your own, solo or vacation or, something. So yeah, overall, yeah, I get to be a tourist when I want to. I've seen a lot. Jamaica was same thing. I would have stayed a week and went to Bob Marley's house and stuff. Did we get to go to Kingston? No. Rock Vault flew in and we had one night off that first travel day, and we had a big hang and food and all that. Had a good evening, sunset. But the next day was work, and then after that, it's airport. And go home. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way home. Um, So it varies. You get used to it. But I would have wanted to stay in Jamaica a few more days, sure. But we had Rock Vault the next night, so I had to come back and work, and it's good. It keeps us working because otherwise we would want a vacation. You'd end up spending the money that you made. You want to go home with money, and if you vacation, yeah, if you get too much into that the touristy mode and want to do that all the time, it's just yeah, if I was rich, maybe I would stay an extra few days and fly home, but I gotta work. I gotta come home and work, so I don't need to be a tourist. I've seen a lot. I'm going to see a lot more. So yeah, you just take it as it goes, as it comes,
Yeah, man, for sure. Out of curiosity, is there when you have traveled to all these different places, where has been your favorite place that you found good coffee?
Oh my gosh, too many places. Well, I was just saying recently, it's called Blue Diamond, and it's Jamaica, like in the middle of their island or something. They have this big old mountain, and they have this like some of the best coffee bean in the world. And I've been hearing about it. And I went to Jamaica last year, and I didn't catch on to that. I was drinking it and loving it, but I didn't look behind it and to see what the company was, because I like doing research on that stuff and see where their fields are, and all that, their fair trade and all that. And but yeah, when I went back this time, because I saw a lot of YouTubes on, I think I say the right name, Blue Diamond. No, that's where I live. No, but I think it's or Blue Mountain. And yeah, as of right now, Jamaica is my favorite coffee. It's just the espresso, just oh my god. I don't do coffee. That's like that's a teaser. I'm just espresso guy.
Espresso guy. Are you just
Got it.
espresso straight? Do you put anything
Straight up.
in it?
Straight up.
Do you need straight up, no cream, no sugar?
Well, once in a blue moon on a weekend or something, I want to treat myself. Again, diabetic, gotta watch that shit. I do a little whipped cream, but it has to be on the bottom. So it's well, mine is a triple espresso Campana upside down.
Nice.
Yeah. I need the whipped cream on the bottom.
All right. Get that
Yeah.
get that good little blend going as it drips.
Yeah, and just let it do its thing, and then I'll do that once in a while. But no, I'm pretty much just straight up black coffee. Yeah, make it strong, grow hair on your chest.
Nice. Absolutely. Got to get that bitter burn. Right on, dude. Right on. Right back to you, Angel.
That's all clear, man. Just wanna, man, can't thank you enough for your time.
Ah, come on, man.
So
This
fucking
is
awesome.
all for the love of music, brother.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, for sure. So Angel and fans, of course, we are going to put down last call for all of you fans. Make sure that you put in any final questions, comments that you want for Michael, so we can make sure that we clear the board. But with everything that you've got going on, is there a particular location coming up that you either are excited to return to or you're going to for the first time?
I'm just weekend to weekend right now. I'm just getting ready to pack again. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the Ace Frehley show this weekend. My mind's on that set list with Aldo and our Jack Frost on guitar, Dario Sexus on bass, and Ange on drums. And I love my band, so I'm just at the immediate this weekend. I love, who doesn't love Ace Frehley? And Slaughter, and I'm just excited about the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut this Sunday night. And after that, I'm gonna hit Rock Vault hard, like I always do, for the month of June. Do a lot of some records, get the recordings done, and then I go to Europe and go play with Aldo and do a good job there at the Time to Rock Festival. And then I'm gonna toy around before and after on that one, and then I come home for 2 weeks for Rock Vault, and then I'm back out for those. You know my schedule better than me. The August, help me out here. August 2nd, Arcata. August 3rd, 80s Rock. That's in Kentucky.
Jake Paul's gonna walk through.
And
Yeah,
then
I'm looking at
then we're back in Canada. We're back in Canada for a few shows. I remember that the 11th or 16th, Nova Scotia in August 16th. We're gonna be way up there by New Brunswick or New Brunswick, whatever.
Nice.
Packed. Yeah, it's all
Absolutely,
good.
brother.
Nothing
For sure.
specific. No, just the whole thing. It's just like one big circus. I love it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a rock and roll circus, man. You know, life is just a fantasy. Can
Life
you
is
live your
just a
fantasy life, brother?
Live the fantasy life. Yeah, sounds good. Well, hey guys, it was a pleasure hanging out
Michael.
with you and everybody listening. And appreciate you all. I like to see you all come to Vegas to see Raiding the
Yes.
Rock Vault at the
Absolutely,
Hard
Michael.
Rock Cafe.
Michael, real quick before you sign off, brother, can you where can fans find you? Tour dates? Where can you be found on socials?
Well, AldoNovaRocks.com.
Cool.
Yep. /tour.
Absolutely. Well, right on. Michael, I appreciate you, brother. Angel, appreciate you as well, man. We collectively appreciate you. And thank you for your interest. Thank you in your show, man. And thanks for hanging with us at M3, man. It's been a real honor having you on the show. And we'd love to have you back on in the future.
Thank you so much, you guys. Peace and love from
In
Helios
Vegas.
Ranch, Las Vegas. Woo!
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Take care, you
From
guys.
Helios Road Ranch in Las Vegas. Metal Summoners, thank you guys
Helios
so
Road.
much.
You know, this is a ranch, buddy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, man. Thanks for the plug. You guys
Anytime,
rock
man,
on.
100% for sure.
Back at
Thank
you,
you,
man.
Metal
Rock on, you
Summoners.
guys.
Make sure that you guys are supporting Michael and everything he's doing with Aldo Nova and Raiding the Rock Vault. Get out there, support him,
Thank you.
show him love, and attend the shows and have a great time. Make sure
Thank
that
you,
you're
guys.
following the Metal Summit on Facebook and YouTube. That's where we're live. That's where you see these amazing interviews with amazing gents like Michael T. Ross. And you can follow Angel at Angel Alamo 78 on Instagram as well as on Facebook. And you can follow me at Salem.Vampire on Instagram. But again, like, follow, subscribe the Metal Summit pages. And we look forward to rocking out with you guys in a week. On behalf of Michael T. Ross, on behalf of Angel Alamo, and on behalf of myself, guest announcement for next week's episode is over the weekend. And we will see you guys in a week. Take care. Michael,